Welcome to the Blind Zone, where curiosity brings its own reward. And what am I curious about today? I'm curious about how prepared I truly am. I thought about this a lot, and I think that there's six aspects or stages or six pieces of a recipe for preparedness. And I'll tell you what all six are, and then I'll talk about one in particular today. So the six parts of the preparedness plan are: the first one, you have to be aware that you need to be prepared. The second part is spiritual preparedness, because that has eternal ramifications. The third part is practical preparations, the need to gather together water, food, fuel, medicine, just tools, just practical things. And the fourth part is to be physically prepared. Are you ready for a long endurance? The fifth one is the emotional preparedness. And then the sixth one is to practice the preparedness. Today, we're going to talk about the physical art of preparedness. And how this whole thing got started was a number of weeks ago. I was watching a Canadian prepper, and he had on a man, it was a doctor actually, and they have in Canada our version of Survivor, and it was called The Lone. And all the contestants vie for a chance to live alone and in the rugged, and they have to survive. And they have a number of skill sets that they all bring to the table. And while this guy didn't win, he had lived on his own in the mountains for over 60 some days. But the one thing he did say that really hit home for me, he said, every day you have to do one hard thing. You have to make yourself do a hard thing. And after you do that hard thing, you have to find the next hard thing. And immediately after he said that, I knew exactly what my one hard thing was. I am really lacking on physical activity. In fact, if sitting is the new smoking, then I'm up to 3 packs a day. I sit an awful lot. And so I said to myself, if that's really true, I need to fix that now, because in the event of an emergency, the one thing I'm going to need to be able to have is physical stamina. So what I vowed to do was that every day I would stand for at least 30 minutes. Now, some of you think that that's ridiculous. We can all do that. Well, I do the treadmill, and I do my trampoline, and I do my squats and my hand weights. I was more inclined with just sitting. So I said that was it. So once I get out of the shower and I get dressed, I start the clock ticking, and I try to stand for at least an hour, incorporating a deliberate 30-minute set of just standing. And I'm not talking about where I stand and I walk from my couch to the washer or do the dishes. That's not it. I'm standing and I'm moving, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not incorporating the other exercises into this routine. So for me, and I had gotten an accountability partner, my friend Cindy, and I said, this is it. I'm going to do this every day for 30 minutes, and I'm going to do it first thing in the morning, and I'm going to text you the word done. And I have to tell you, the first 7 days of this was so arduous. And by the 25-minute mark, my back hurt so bad, my head was pounding because I wasn't used to it. And now it's gotten much easier, and I do still have to talk myself into it. In fact, I cheated, and I took my 30-minute time when I was standing in church during the songs. And Cindy said to me, are you counting this against your time? It's like, you bet I am. So that may have been a little cheating. But so I don't know what it is for you, but in your day-to-day life, you have to look at the hard things and just vow that not in your own strength, because I couldn't do this if I didn't have the Lord and the Holy Spirit as my guide and comforter, and just being on the lead in this. So is it something you need to give up eating? Is it something you need to, whatever it is, we all know what our hard thing is, because I knew immediately once he said it what mine was. And he also said one other interesting thing. He was talking about that before he got on the show, he deliberately gained 30 pounds. And another one of the contestants gained 60, because he said in the lean times, You want to have something manageable that your body can live off of until you can find additional food. And at first I thought about this whole thing and I thought, well, what if I start eating less so that my body gets used to less food and fuel? And I thought, no, because then you're just breaking it on your body unnecessarily before you actually have to go into that mode if it becomes necessary in the future. So that's it for me. I've been doing the 30-minute challenge and I hope to bring that up to an hour. And I hope that every time I don't have to talk myself into standing up, and it's into a manageable routine now. And again, I've been doing the treadmill and the trampoline for so long now, that's just built into the routine. And I hope that this is too. And I hope that if in the event of something that were to come, that this will be something that I can use and learn and draw strength on, because I know that this is something I overcame. So that's it. That's my what I have to do right now for my hard thing. And I'm going to ask, what is your hard thing? So that's it. We'll see you next time on The Blind Zone.